Hi Nina, hope you had a good weekend. It's quite cold this morning, well, takes some getting used to cold anyway. Hi Aid, good morning. I did thank you, I had a really nice weekend, just me and Leo. Except for Sunday, we went to see my mum. We haven't seen her for a very long time considering the circumstances and worries, but we decided to do an outdoor park walk with masks on, and it was really nice. It was for her birthday on Saturday, sorry, not Sunday. And yesterday it was my youngest nephew's birthday, but he's had COVID, so we can't see them. So they're still in quarantine until the next tests. And is everyone there? I haven't got any hearts or comments. And on Friday we went to this really great theme park, fun park thing in Paris. It's kind of... Actually, I've got no comments, no hearts. Oh, it's working now. Okay. You'll see them soon, yeah, hopefully. It's been a while now. It's been since the holidays, I think. I mean, the summer ones. Couvre-feu at first, curfew. So it comes from the French. C-U-R-F-E-W. So it's been Englishized. That's not a word. So we had, for his birthday in August, he got a all-day pass, unlimited rides from a friend of ours. And we hadn't used it yet, so we finally used it on Friday. And it's really cool. They give the kids the bracelet. And at every ride, they just scan the bracelet. Okay, I've got no hearts or comments. Just send the odd heart, just to know that everything's okay and the connection's okay. Normal hearts, of course. Yeah, the clocks have changed at the same time as they did in the UK, so we're in sync. Hi, Hal. Look how sunny it is and beautiful. I was just talking about my weekend. Let's do a pan around here so you can see the beautiful Théâtre de Châtelet. Look how those statues are just glowing there with the blue sky in the back. Yeah, so we followed along with the UK. So I think there's now either 11 or 12 hours difference in New Zealand, because I don't know if they've changed their time as well. Look at all those seagulls on there. Are taken with the view, that's good, yeah. Just the odd click on your thing, on your screen, or send me a little message so I know you're listening. Hi Chris. It is beautiful this morning, really beautiful. I thought it had been a while since I've taken you to Ile Saint-Louis, so I'm doing it now. Guy was right on my tail, who didn't understand what I was doing. All these people are going to work. They want us to be working from home, but I guess these people are not. They have to wear masks in the office. This guy's posing for photos, but the way he got up on that bridge made me a bit scared. So there are tourists. Kia ora, Sam, good morning. So Sam, what time is it in New Zealand right now? We changed our time. Great water reflection, yeah. This is sunny. I'm going to show you. They're trying to dodge, thinking I'm taking a picture. 8:38 p.m. Okay, so we're at 12 hours now. Okay, which is what always makes the most sense to me. I always get confused with the 10 hours and 11 hours because it's all at different times. Our weather here is total opposite what you have. Oh, really? Is it dull and grey and yucky and raining? Hi, Martin. Oh, look, they've put locks here too. Oh boy. What does this one say? 2020. How did they get there? Baby and something? I haven't got my glasses on. 12 hours difference, yeah, at the moment. That's how I suspect us or US. I don't know. There's lots of stickers on here too. Placed carefully. All sorts of stuff on this thing, isn't there? Someone's put one of those locks with the numbers, you never see that. Very grey, is it? Okay. There's another sticker there. There you go. And the conciergerie. This truck is a bit noisy. They're cleaning. Hi. Perfectly shampooed hair over here. That's what I need to have done. I haven't washed my hair in a while. I'm actually off work today, which is amazing to be off work without Leo. So I'm gonna wash my hair. I'm gonna colour my hair. I'm gonna clean and bake and organise and plan. And wow, it's so loud. Sorry. Whoa. Hopefully it will be over in 5 minutes. 5 seconds. Oh la 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 la. There's some pampering, yeah. Yes, I'm going to have a day to myself, but I also have to do a lot of stuff for Leo and to organise and prepare. My goodness, it's loud. Going to landscape for a second. Do some manicure. Oh my gosh, I'm well past even having any necessity to. But yeah, I do need to take care of myself, but I don't know what that is anymore. But at least I can wash my hair. Alright, I'm going to cross here. There's more police and no name police. Right, made it across the road. I'm blinded by the sun. Why did he have to do that for? So there's the other theatre in Châtelet, and that's where we were, and that's looking back at the Pont Neuf and the Louvre, you can see there with all the beautiful colours on the trees, and the clock tower and the oldest clock. The morning rush hour is very noisy, isn't it? It should be really quiet when we get onto the island though. Thanks for typing the screen, that way I know everything's working, because it was a bit dodgy the last time I scoped. Or the second to last time. Yeah, it was the last time I scoped. Does the clothier? Hi there. Long time no see. Here I am. Hi. I haven't got my glasses on and hi Ollie. And I got bright sunshine. But the traffic should be less congested. Yes. Technically, it seems awfully busy this morning. Right, at least it's more quiet down here. This is the closed up. It's not good. They're talking at the moment. They're discussing what they're going to do. They're going to have to tighten up more, but how? And there's the Tour Saint-Jacques. It's a nice view there, full view. You don't often see that. I feel all bumpy, sorry. I feel a bit shaky. I don't know why. So, suggestions are maybe more work from home. Yeah, well, they're already encouraging that as much as possible. Suggestions are maybe an even earlier curfew. Oh, if the clock is chiming, yeah, it will chime. It does work. What were the suggestions? An even earlier curfew was one. It was everything short of lockdown anyway. So still, yeah. It's still in the morning before the boats start moving it about. Man, I just feel really bothered by all the noise this morning. Oh, there's still a bit of movement if you look closely. In fact, there's a lot of movement if you're under there. Are masks mandatory outdoors? Yes, they have been for... There's Bacchus on the other side. I usually show you Bacchus on that side. There he is, or Dionysus. Yeah, masks have been compulsory for quite some time outside now. Yes, Paris had a tracing app that was a bit of a flop, so they've changed to another one. And I thought I had to download it, but it automatically changed from having downloaded the last one. So I think they just renamed the last one and added things. There is a fine if you're caught without a mask, or if you're caught wearing the mask around your nose, which a third of the people seem to be doing. But I've definitely seen, several times a week, I've seen people stopped over this. How much? 135, I think, or something? That's a fine, yeah. And if you're out after curfew and you do it several times, it goes up to, no, I mean if you're out after 9 p.m. without your certificate several times, the fine I think is €1,000. It was something big, maybe even more than that. Track and trace has been a disaster in Ireland. Yeah, didn't have a very good reputation here either. The curfew, yeah. Well, I heard that Mark Meadows guy say, well, basically, we've given up. Let's focus on the vaccine. Great stuff. Yeah, I mean, things need to be clear nationwide. I highly agree. Hi, LA. Yeah, the US is in a terrible shape right now with the virus, depending on where you are, but it's getting bad here too. Hi, Kansas. So yeah, it's awful. You got it a few months ago, me too. All your family got it. Well, everyone has got it except for my mum and my eldest sister and my eldest nephew. For groups larger than 25 outdoors. Good. I hope they're enforcing it. Hi, Houston. Yes, for me and Leo it was April, and my brother-in-law it was March. And Emma, my sister, had it, because I got two sisters here. She had it, she had the mild version where you lose taste and smell. I know, Sam, I do think about it. And my middle nephew had symptoms, but now the little one's got it. He's not that little, he's 11. No, I was followed by a French system that monitors you. It's called Covidom, and they ask you to. I didn't have a pulse thingy bobby, pulse oxygen thing. New Zealand would welcome me. Yeah, I know. It's called Covidom, Covidom, and it's a system that monitors you. It's actually really good. A lot of people don't understand that this is kind of flu for most of the people. Kind of flu? No, it's not actually. Have another look. Yeah, Covidom. Okay, I'm sorry that you're not happy, but you don't have to watch my scope if you don't like it. Okay, bye. So what was I saying? Covidom is really good. They called me when my... Yeah, okay, well I just muted, but I'll go ahead and block after. I'll do that, sorry. Did I get the right guy? I hope so. I think I did. What was I saying? They wanted me to measure how fast I was breathing and my pulse rate. I hope everything goes well. And they would call as soon as there was a problem, and they would end up calling once a day. Yeah, but then my and my doctor is 100% sure that that's what we had. She said there's nothing else it could have been. You had the exact symptoms, you were followed by Covidom, and you had the same exact recovery. But then we went to get our antibodies done, and it didn't show up, and the woman said that that's quite common and it might go away, so it's all not very reassuring at all. I don't feel stronger for it. But my brother-in-law definitely has the antibodies, or he had them back then. They said it would send test packs to my home every week, but I've yet to receive one. Oh my goodness, they need to sort that out. But they should do the home test, shouldn't they? Had it covered with negative. Yeah, I've had a bunch of tests just in case. You just never know. So lovely on a sunny day. It is. Shall we check this out? And my nephew tested positive in a PCR test, and he's waiting for his negative one, and then he can go back to school next week, hopefully. They have spiked here, and I order my groceries. It's good for you. Well, I'd definitely be negative in a PCR, but I just never know if I can get it again, or if I just don't know, because I didn't have any antibodies. I don't know anything. We don't know anything. So I keep getting regularly tested, and I'm paranoid. I'm always washing my hands and just always washing Leo. I just don't know. I don't know nothing. This is an island that I'm standing on. It's called Cité, and in fact Paris was built on this island. This is where Paris was. I'll show a few things. Saint-Paul. Je vais à Île Saint-Louis pour l'instant. Yeah, you are. I have had a few PCR tests, and I had one of those pharmacy ones where they take a drop of blood, and she said you can only tell if you've had it 3 weeks ago because it's an antigen test. But she also said it's not necessarily reliable, but there's a new test coming in. Merci. Anyway, who knows? We don't know anything for the moment. I'm just being very careful. I do not feel stronger. I did at the beginning. I felt like, oh, thank God, now we're stronger. But no, I don't feel that way anymore. Less people out now, fewer people. But it is always actually quiet here in the morning. So we're looking at Rue de la Colombe. Colombe is dove. I know, me too. Everything's so utterly depressing. But we can also just try to live in the meantime and stay together virtually. So in 1223, part of this building collapsed, and there was a man living on the first floor. I'm on Île de la Cité, City Island. There was a man living on the first floor, and he sadly died, but he had a pair of doves nesting on his window, and they got caught in the rubble. The family of doves that were nesting, and the male dove managed to escape and came back to feed his family. Not quite sure how all this went down, but apparently it's very true. And he fed his family for like 2 weeks, and the locals were so touched. They were observing this daily, and they were so moved by it that they dedicated the whole street to the dove. And they have a dove here. And anyway, they freed the doves. And they know the age of this building. They know it's from the 1200s because they found a cat skeleton between the ceiling and the entre plafond et plancher. Doesn't make sense. Between the ceiling and the floor. Anyway, yes, it is. But there's a few in the very centre of Paris. There's quite a few in the Latin Quarter and in the Marais. So, but yeah, the basement of this is, and what was I going to say? Yes, La Colombe. So they used to put cats, and I think the cats were alive. This is so horrible. They used to put cats to ward off evil spirits or something, and that's how they knew how old a building was, just could confirm it anyway. So there you go, and you can see the doves here. And this thing became lots of things, including a cabaret at one stage. It's got a lot of history. Yes, indeed. Then you had to build strong structures. Yep. So in 1240 it was called the Saint-Nicolas Tavern. And it was an important hangout of Cartouche. And it was a restaurant called Restaurant La Colombe. It's changed names. It's also recently changed hands as well. It closed down. Now it's called Les Deux Colombes, the two doves. It wasn't that last year. It's just changed. They used to have the best bœuf bourguignon, but I imagine they've changed the menu because it's a different thing. What have they got? Oh, they do have confit de canard. Oh, they don't do the boeuf bourguignon. It was really good. They even got a cheeseburger. You can still get your snails though. And you can see the two doves here as well. More connected yet. And this very, very, very old door. Indeed, Sam. That's how it happened. Yep, French food is good. So is every food all around. Some better than others, but most of them are pretty good. Look, she's made out of postage stamps. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, they're definitely postage stamps. Old ones too. And then you've got the dove here as well, a little dove mosaic. Oh, snails are so good. In fact, I'm going to go to a cafe on Ile Saint-Louis later. Well, walk past it. It's supposed to be a dove. And the stamp art. And that they have the best giant snails. So good. Look at this little guy. Is he crayon or chalk? I'm not sure. And what else was I going to show you? Something important here is Pingu. This is the old Roman wall. So back in the day, in Roman times, I was standing in the countryside. Thanks for the super heart. And over there was Paris. And so Paris was very limited back then to the island and a little bit of the left bank. And the Marais was the countryside. 500 million people, my goodness. Ugh. Thank you, Ivan. I've been in France for 25 years. And my mother is French, so I grew up speaking French at home. But you can hear a New Zealand accent because I grew up in New Zealand. I asked you for recommendations before I come. Yes, of course. It'll be my absolute pleasure. This cafe, when it's open, you can sit outside here. It's quite cute. There's very old shutters that need a little bit of help here. So this is the old Roman wall. They didn't really know it was here because there was a building on top or something. But it was found in 1898. So thank you, Ivan. When will we be able to visit Paris? I don't know. I was just thinking about that this morning. I don't know. So Roman Paris, I showed you the arena a couple of weeks ago. And there's the Roman baths in Saint-Michel. And then there's this. There'll be a horse walkway, yeah. And I'll show you something cool up here too. There's a cafe on Ile Saint-Louis in the corner. That's where we're going. Okay, let's go have a look in a minute. I just want to show you something here. So I started scoping in 2015 and I started getting people from all over the world, so I communicated in English. Hear the horse from far away, yeah, I can hear them from far away when I'm home, when you've got the mounted gendarme. Great food and Bertillon ice cream on the other island, yeah. Le Gaulois existe toujours. Il est où? So Aubougna is really good. Aubougna, and this is Au Vieux Paris. It's been here since 1594. It's really cool. Look at this outside. Ile Saint-Louis. Okay, we'll go and have a look. This is really cute. The gendarme police are mounted still. Yeah, this is quite common to see in the centre of Paris. Coucou, Au Vieux Paris d'Arcole. It's really nice. Nice and simple little restaurant, and they have these. I'm well, thank you. They have these beautiful vines, not vines. What's it called? Climbing tree. And there's always, like at Easter, there's the Easter chickens and stuff. There's always some cool stuff. At Christmas, they've got a really nice decoration. There's nothing particular at the moment. I feel sad for all the restaurants that are struggling with what's going on. It is really nice, isn't it? And there's the police just here. The series Emily in Paris. I know. Yeah, everyone's telling me I should see it, but I'm not watching anything at all at the moment. I'm just trying to use all my spare time to either catch up on sleep or organise myself. For the moment, I will eventually have time. Is moving off the island. Oh, really? Interesting. This one is nice. I've been in here before when I was looking for an apartment way back in the day. This is a nice door, isn't it? Gorgeous. Lots of windows here. And this. Let's go say hi to Notre Dame and then we'll go to Ile Saint-Louis. 3 years ago, in the 11th arrondissement, this old stone there in the doorway is so nice. And those little windows. C'est beau. Very old-fashioned door that has a horse entrance, yes. A lot of them do have these tall entrances that were big enough for the carriages. My one does. Mind you, my one's probably never meant for that. But the style of door is that. There's quite a few on Ile Saint-Louis where we're going. Hi Louise, kia ora. So there's now 12 hours between us. That was... What time was that? I can't see my watch. It's sad to see everything closed, but I mean it is morning though. But these souvenir shops must have taken such a hit. I know they're getting help, but it's only past a certain loss of income. So we've changed our clock, so there's now exactly 12 hours between us and New Zealand, so it's 8 something. It's 9 o'clock now. Last weekend, yes, on Saturday night. And then, okay, merci Fade. So I woke up at 3 o'clock and I thought, oh cool. Hang on, I woke up at 3 o'clock and I thought, cool, it'll go back to 2. But it didn't, so it must have already been back to 2 and then to 3. So I was just sitting there looking at my phone thinking, change back to 2 so I can see it happen. And it didn't happen. This coming weekend, all across the US, and there's Notre Dame, Blue Mountains, Australia. Hi, there she is. If you haven't already changed to summertime, yeah, that's why it is 12 hours at the moment. These are a series of photos. Merci, showing the works that they're doing at Notre Dame, all the protection works, restoration, protecting a pinnacle. There's a bird with a nice view. Well, that photo almost looks 3D. Same blue sky weather in London, that's good. Well, it's going to take a long time. Let's go have a look from the beginning, up here. Continues this way. I'm walking into the wind. 2 engineers from the research lab of the Monument Historique examine the statues of the winged man and the eagle that adorned the 19th century spire. Yeah, I know. I just can't even imagine. They represent the evangelists St. Matthew and St. John. They had been removed before the fire and are now on display at the Cité de l'Architecture and du Patrimoine. So, 2 engineers from the research lab examined the statue of the rooster. That's the one that fell. It's a rooster weather vane that sat atop the 19th century spire. It was later found among the rubble and is now on display at the Cité de l'Architecture, protecting ornamentation elements damaged by the fire on the south terraces. Statues from the building's upper parts were weakened by the fire and removed with a view to restoration. Statue of the Virgin of the Pilar Jewel of the 14th century statuary in storage in the radiating chapel of the choir before it's transferred to the church of Saint-Germain-l'Auxerrois. That's the church that's in front of the Louvre, Saint-Germain-l'Auxerrois, not to be confused with Church Saint-Germain. Hey, did you miss the news that Notre Dame was on fire? Wow, it was all over. That's awesome. It's not awesome, but it's just, it doesn't seem. It seems very surprising that somehow didn't get through to everywhere. But anyway, there was this incredible fire, and it suffered extreme damage. It was a horrible, horrible fire, and it's been closed ever since. What was the date of the fire? Does anyone remember? Preparatory casts. You watched it live on CNN, yeah. Is it more peaceful in quarantine? Well, we're not in quarantine, as you can see. I'm outside. Maybe you mean the curfew. Yes, it's more quiet at night, but not necessarily. I heard a party on Saturday night. You avoid social media and the news, fair enough. But sometimes you need to find some things out. Well, I'm glad you're here and you found out. Preparatory casts for stone statues dating from the 19th century in the nave's North tribunes. Yeah, it was very dramatic to see. So this is all going to be rebuilt. It's going to take a long, long time. Retrieving remnants of the frame in the nave using remotely controlled pillars. Wow. Clearing debris in the nave with the help of remotely controlled robots. Removal of the rubble. Processing and removal of debris. Created by archaeologists from 3D images, an inventory of the debris from the nave and the transept were compiled in order to determine their exact location in the building before their collapse. 3D scanning, yes, I think that's what they're saying here. Wood and stone debris in the nave. Wow, look how damaged that is. Debris from the vault in the spire at the transept crossing. My goodness, that's bad, isn't it? Yes, and we don't exactly know. We were told it was taking a very long time, but Macron seems to think it can be done in 5 years. So. The spire that was by Viollet-le-Duc, just before it collapsed, that was a very dramatic thing for people who were watching. The Notre Dame fire witnessed from Pont de la Tournelle. Yeah, there's a debate about whether it's going to be the same as before, or we'll see. In 2022, yeah, it just seems very soon, doesn't it? No, I think I saw 2024, but yeah, maybe, I've seen lots of things. Look, they've knitted a little cozy for the tree, except it's not really. Oh yeah, I guess it would help. It's the cold. It's on the metal. I think it will never be the same. It will have to get used to the new one. It's, you know, there have been fires in the past in important buildings. We've adapted and got to learn, got to know it the other way. Thanks to the prompt mobilisation by Parisian firefighters, the cathedral was saved. In the months following the fateful day, Notre Dame de Paris has undergone security, reinforcing works, the prerequisites for restoring the monuments. Your photos of the interior and lit a candle. Oh, wow. She lived in Paris for 26 years, I remember you telling me. It must have been really hard for you and with that memory. But it'll come back and you'll be able to visit again in a different way. There's an exhibition down there that's really cute. It's all the pictures, all the paintings of the kids. Of course you are. That's something that you'll carry with you. I'm sorry. Look at the sun here. There's a point here where you can see the Eiffel Tower again. So these are all drawings done by school students, not only in France but also around the world. And the Petit Palais, wow. What kind of art was it? So I love the different colours they used. Also there's pictures of the doorways that you're missing because you can't get up close. Yes, I'm sure they'll do everything they can to make sure it'll stand the test of 800 years that it already had. That takes place in France or Paris in English. I don't actually. I'm going to have to think about that. Nothing comes to mind at all, actually. I'm just drawing a blank. I'll think. Oh, there is a part where you see the tower, but I can't see it right now. Oh, yeah. No. I just see the very tip there. You have over 100 oil on canvas paintings to sell, but oh, really? And you've tried a lot of times, or is it on a website? Right, I promised to go to Ile Saint-Louis. She was influenced by French artists. There's a huge bunch of soldiers here. They were right next to me, but I didn't film them. Now they're walking off. There you go. Must try online, okay. This is a hospital here. It's called Hôtel Dieu. Funny name, huh? God Hotel. That's the name of the hospital. There you go. There's Charlemagne on his horse. And that's looking at the left bank here with the oldest tree in Paris that you could just see here. 1601. It's actually an American tree, isn't it amazing? 1601. The Shakespeare & Company bookstore is here. It's an acacia tree. You have? Me too. I've been in the emergency room a few times. Okay, off I go down here. Yeah, it is beautiful. Right, let's go to... For the first time, oh wow! And you are seeing a different, not a typical view. Well, typical view right now since it's under work. Are they going to turn it into something else? Hôtel Dieu, yeah, they've shut down a few parts of it. And I thought they were closing down completely, but it's not the case. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing. They managed to save it. Actually, that says permission to demolish, but it's not the whole building. Yeah, because the structure's very old, and apparently it doesn't really work for a hospital, but I'm not sure. Partial demolition of some buildings that are annex. Okay. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure about the layout as well and everything. Apparently even renovating it was just too much. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll try to read up on the latest on that. So that's what we were looking at before. So we saw one part of this. We didn't see this preparatory cast for stone statues dating from the 19th century in the Naves North Tribunes. We did see that. And we didn't see the next part, so we'll have a look. So the vaults, protective measures, the vaults suffered substantial fire damage. The upper structures remain unsteady and the risk of falling masonry cannot be totally excluded. Hence, to protect passers-by and those working on the construction site, all risk-prone zones have been secured. Thousands of square metres of protective netting, about 10 metres in height, have been installed inside as well as outside the cathedral. Lastly, the transept's gable ends, weakened by the fire, have been reinforced and stabilised. That's preparing the netting. It's quite common to use netting. There was netting in the building across from me outside my window for a while until they finally did the repairs. It's early Monday morning for you, time for bed. Have a good sleep, friendly face. Thanks for coming in. Well, I'm glad you got to see a little bit of this, but in unusual circumstances. There's the protective netting again. You can see the rose window. The flying buttresses on the side of Notre Dame, yes. on the back there. The contrast between leafless trees, yeah. Wow, that's the big the view from the nave with a gaping hole in the transept crossing forming the backdrop. Wow, it is beautiful despite everything. View of the vault in the transept crossing that collapsed as a result of the fire. View of the vault in the transept crossing that collapsed as a result of the fire. View of the vault. View of the rose window in the north transept in the foreground rubble. Wow, look at that, still glowing. You're very welcome. Thank you for the super heart. A rope access technician undertaking clean-up operation and removing debris from the vault of the north transept. As of 15th April 2019, researchers have been studying the remnants from the fire. The French National Institute of Preventive Archaeological Research, the French Research Lab for Historic Monuments, and the Research and Restoration Centre for the Museums of France have been conducting this research. Their work has provided valuable insights into, in order to establish the precise diagnosis of Notre Dame's sanitary condition, and to grasp the event of restorative work required. Sorry, as a translator I'm going, what? Analysing the condition of stained glass after the fire at the French Research Lab for Historic Monuments of Champs-sur-Marne. Analysing the condition of stained glass. Analysing metallic components salvaged from the cathedral. And reinforcing the flying buttresses, an essential element in Gothic architecture. The flying buttresses help to ensure the cathedral's stability, and particularly that of the vaults. Given the fragile state of Notre Dame in Paris, and in order to reduce the risk of collapse, it is necessary to reinforce the flying buttresses, but that is to say to pose wooden supports under them in order to buttress them. Lasting several months, this painstaking and spectacular operation has made it possible to secure 28 flying buttresses. Preparing a centering frame to be hoisted by the crane beneath the flying buttresses. Installing a centering frame beneath the flying buttresses. For Notre Dame. Hoisting a centering frame. Oh, these are good pictures. Look at that, with a beautiful view that you used to be able to admire from the top of Notre Dame, and I did show on Periscope a couple of times way back in the day. That's a really good photo. You can see all the different buildings around. Closing a centering frame beneath flying buttresses. Wow, what a job. Technician posing a centering frame with an itchy leg. To date, some essential steps still need to be implemented in order that the securing... Oh look, there's an elevator coming down. In order that the securing of the cathedral be considered complete. Evaluation and diagnostic studies will be carried on in parallel in order to determine both the timetable and the budget for the restoration work. Restoration can start during the course of 2021. So right now it's not actual restoration, but shoring up, repairing, strengthening. Throughout the project's duration, both the fire damage scaffolding and the cathedral itself have been continually monitored by high-tech instruments. These enable those responsible to control the slightest fluctuations on account of bad weather and to swiftly intervene when necessary. Restoration of Notre Dame spire was already underway prior to the devastating blaze of 15th of April 2019. That's the date. The scaffolding originally installed for this purpose without the toppling spire. Oh yes, okay. The scaffolding originally installed for this purpose withstood the toppling spire, but the heat of the blaze seriously deformed its structure. It poses a serious threat to the cathedral. It is now necessary to dismantle it. This unprecedented and complex operation has been meticulously prepared, consolidated and subsequently encircled by metal girders on 3 levels. The fire-damaged scaffolding sculpture has been flanked on both sides by new scaffolding that offers solid support points for dismantling from above, etc. Preparatory work began in December 2019, commencing in the spring of 2020. The operation to remove the scaffolding itself will take several months. Scaffolding after the fire, is that better? Above the transept crossing. My goodness, look at that. Can you see what happened to the scaffolding? It became a crazy, jumbled mess of metal. Crazy, crazy. Look at that. Invisible from the ground level, the extrados is defined as the upper surface of the vaults. It is currently littered with debris from the timber roof framing and the roof that collapsed during the blaze. Clearing the vaults is the operation that will facilitate the removal of this debris piece by piece. It will be executed by rope access technicians who will also remove stones from the vault that are threatened to collapse. All these materials will subsequently be assessed in the same manner as the debris that had been removed from the nave. The clearing operation is critical in order to thoroughly inspect the true state of the cathedral's vaulted ceilings. The architects will then be in the position to make a comprehensive diagnosis of Notre Dame de Paris in order to conduct the studies prior to restoration. So, as you can see, it's all preparatory work before. This is the extrados of the cathedral's vaulted ceilings. Floorboards installed above the vaults in order to enable their clearing and subsequent inspection. Clearing debris from the timber roof frame. The singing voice and jewel of the cathedral since 1733, Notre Dame de Paris' grand organ has been renovated on several occasions, notably by Aristide Cavaillé-Coll in 1868. It's 8,000 pipes and 115 stops make it the largest. Imagine playing that. The largest instrument in France in terms of the number of stops. Yeah, it is difficult to say, I think, yeah. As you can see, it's very complicated. Among the titular organists at Notre Dame de Paris were prestigious keyboardists such as Louis Vierne and Pierre Cochereau. Although spared from the blaze of 15th of April, the grand organ is covered with soot and dust. It will be dismantled pipe by pipe in order to be restored by organ builders. The small choir organ intended for daily liturgical use will also receive a similar overhaul. Look at it, gosh. Just imagine the work. Yeah, the intact grand organ with the celebrated west rose window behind. Intact, but all that restoration still needed. Ancient little organ loft. Statue of Our Lady of the Pillar in the midst of the site before its removal. More than 40 no, the rose windows were, I don't know if they were slightly damaged, but they were spared. As of April 2019, more than 40 companies have been working on the site. Their mobilisation and know-how has ensured the success of the spectacular operations needed to secure this historic monument. This exhibition presents some of the most emblematic professionals on the site. By virtue of their contribution, this exhibition pays tribute to today's master builders, to the Compagnons, which I've talked to you about before, the guild that we saw located by the church there, Saint-Gervais-Saint-Protais, near Hôtel de Ville. The very old guild that teaches savoir-faire and know-how. Teaches... I can't get it out. And to the artisans committed to safeguarding the French patrimony. It teaches all the old... I keep getting French words coming into my head. I can't find an English word. All the old jobs, like carpenters, and the only silver lining is that many artisans, yes, will have lots of work. The carpenters not only design and produce frameworks that support the roof of the building, but also its stairwells and its timber formwork. They lift and assemble the individual components they have cut beforehand. In times gone by, they used only wood, but they now also avail of modern materials such as composites, metals, and so on. Working as a team, the carpenters implement geometry and precision that results in unique assemblies. Carpenters are indispensable for any restoration project, as evidenced by the temporary wooden bracing they installed under the cathedral's flying buttresses or the floors erected above the vaults. I'm not sure if I would have said indispensable. I think I would have said essential. Sorry. Analysing as a translator. Overthinking. A carpenter assembles a wooden bracing for the timber roof frame on site at Notre Dame de Paris. Made to measure, each wooden bracing is assembled in situ by the carpenters. Assembled on site. Rope access technicians are specialists in work at great heights, and where access is difficult, the rope access technician, harnessed to a point of support, fulfill multiple missions depending on the expertise. In France, some 8,500 rope access technicians perform this unique profession, which combines precision, teamwork, risk analysis, and in addition to a passion for heights. A professional qualification certificate recognizes their ability to adapt to circumstances and complete safety. From 2002 on, they have been present at Notre Dame during major restoration campaigns. Currently, between 20 and 40 rope access technicians belong to the Jarnier group, working 24 hours a day on the site. Wow, 24 hours a day, guys! The rope access technicians enable the deployment of this expertise in complete safety across the... This is in complete safely. Someone didn't proofread this. Across the zone severely impacted by the blaze, and to intervene in order to install tarpaulins, wooden bracings and netting. There it is. A rope access technician removes debris. And here he's verifying the installations. I wonder if there's any women. I'm sure there are. No, on part bientôt. North Tower. Oh wow, look at that. Cleaning operation. I picked up some souvenirs in the shop behind. They do still exist. I don't know how they're surviving. A scaffolder works on erecting a lateral scaffold. Like trapeze artists, yeah. Look at that. Ooh. 2 scaffolders inspect the fire damaged scaffolding. Alright, I'm going to walk this way now. This is just where we were before when we were looking at that interesting restaurant and the police station. Crane operators. So they're describing the job of crane operator. Look at that view. That's an amazing view, isn't it? It was always just such a view from Notre Dame. You can see Montmartre up there. You can see the Tour Saint-Jacques, which is also a spectacular view. C'est pas une photo, merci. And c'est pas une photo. And then you can see the Louvre. So I was talking to these guys because they were waiting politely. I had to explain I wasn't taking a picture. And then Saint-Eustache there, so that's on the right bank, and that's on the left bank behind the man. Wow, amazing times we're in, indeed. Views of the various depends how you look at things, but yeah. Hi Canada. Views of the various cranes and nacelles on the construction site. The cathedral choir seen from the tower crane. Master glass makers, let's read this. Stained glass imbues cathedrals with light and its palette of colours. The master glass makers, artisans, possessing unique know-how, restore this fragile material with precision. Stained glass windows regain their erstwhile brilliance. France, a land of cathedrals, has the world's greatest surface area of stained glass, namely 90,000 metres squared of stained glass. During the months that followed the fire, several ateliers of French master glass makers provided their support in securing the restorative works of Notre Dame, in order to take out the cathedral's stained glass windows so that they could be studied, cleansed and restored before being remounted in the cathedral. And there's a master glass maker. I crashed into this if you're wondering what was going on. To watch the rest of it. Oh, okay, yes, it must be really late. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out all this time. A master glass maker restores a stained glass window from Notre Dame. Yes, I read that, sorry. And then windows from the 13th, 19th and 20th centuries. You're very welcome. Each individual stained glass panel fits into a much larger stained glass window. Stone carvers and stone masons. Heritage stone carvers and masons are not alone specialists. Are not alone specialists? What? Are not alone specialists of their precise gesture. Are not only, what, this person did not do any proofreading, are not only specialists of the precise gesture, but also in mastering the properties of stone and of the techniques required to assemble them. These experts reinforce the solidity of the stones, restore the old and degraded stone features, and carve gargoyles, rosettes, statues and so forth from the stone block. The compagnons I was talking to you about before, or journeymen affiliated with the Pierre Noël Company, came to the aid of Notre Dame from the first days after the blaze. In particular, their know-how has made it possible to remove and sift through the stones from the vault and reinforce those structural features weakened by the flames. There they are, the compagnons. Good morning. Ornamental flowerets weakened by the blaze. They install freshly cut blocks of stone destined as a support for the wooden braces. Every individual stone from the vault is preserved and inventoried for further study. And then they talk about the scientific teams and what they're doing. These are all the different stones kept. Stones from Notre Dame's vaulted ceilings. Sorting through the debris. Thank you, Ollie. No, it's not my son who's sick. It's my nephew. And he's very much on the mend. Yeah, Leo and I got it way back in April. And Leo had it very lightly, but it did persist a long time. And we were both very tired. I had a moderate case. It was, well, a mild to moderate, but it was still very, very intense. I was extremely sick. I don't think I'd ever been that sick in my life. My nephew, yeah. And also it was the aftermath. It was the fatigue that was unbelievable. Très, très magnifique indeed. Professionals involved in executing and coordinating restoration works. So that's, thank you. It was a while ago, and thankfully we didn't get very sick. Project managers, they're talking about project managers. Bye, Orly, à la prochaine. Site visit by the fire security technicians. Weekly site visit by the project management. I don't know. I feel as if I'm really unfit, and I don't know if it's because I am unfit or. But I did have, about a year before that, I did have whooping cough. I seem to get everything from Leo. I had whooping cough, and I felt that afterwards too. And post whooping cough and post COVID, I do feel like I'm more winded, but it could also be because I'm unfit. But I don't think I've got any other lingering things. The fatigue lasted a long time, but now I feel completely normal, I think. This says we would like to express our deepest thanks. Had in February, March, yeah. Quite likely. Oklahoma. Thank you, William. So it says here we would like to express our deepest thanks to all our donors in France, all around the world, who have given life to an unprecedented impetus of solidarity and generosity in order to rebuild Notre Dame. We would also like to thank the Fondation Notre Dame and the Friends of Notre Dame Foundation, Fondation du Patrimoine, etc. So that was really interesting. I'm glad I took the time with you to go through that. Sorry if it was very long for the replay view. We're going to go and see the island up here. Looks like a group of tourists up here. Very rare sight. Yeah, croissant and some wine. Should I go and get that for breakfast? Whew. I have a lot to do today. I've got to remember that. But I did promise to show you Ile Saint-Louis. So we're still on the other island right now. We're still on Ile de la Cité. You want crepe? I made some for breakfast for Leo. They were really good too. I made them last night in preparation for this morning. Well, actually no, they were left over from Sunday. And they would taste amazing the next day because the eggs, I don't know, get enriched in taste. Oh my goodness, it just looks so like someone's chopped it off up. So hard to look at that, it really is. Hard to look at it without a pang in the heart. It was such a beautiful view and had the spire and this garden at the back. You can't see it. I wonder if they're still looking after it. Oh, they're just letting it grow. Yeah, you can't see because there's more temporary construction. You can't even see it. Oh well. Let's hop over to the other island. It's green, I can cross. I'm glad Leo had a bit of a better breakfast than usual with his pancakes, crepe. You can see a modern building there, that's the university, Jussieu. And just over there there's another one too, you can't quite see it. There's Montparnasse. And that's the lower tip, well, the eastern tip of Ile de la Cité. Pardon. And the weekends they've got entertainers. Oh, they've redone the surface of the bridge. And the weekend they have singers, or even during the week. Even a piano player, he brings his piano and puts it there. And you have the skaters, the rollerbladers and the skaters on Sunday. They're all dressed up in old French, I don't know, kind of like 1920s. And they skate. They're really good. They skate around the obstacles and they have the old music. There's the Panthéon on the left bank, where all the very famous French people are buried, and Saint-Étienne, Sainte-Geneviève church there, which is beautiful. Oh, it's windy here. There's a few outlets for the very famous ice cream Bertillon, which technically only exists on the island. There is another outlet on the left bank. And in the summer, when there's tourists, or when there's not, people line up at each outlet to get their ice cream. There's another beautiful view of the Panthéon. A bit of a sad view there of Notre Dame, and then you can see Tour Saint-Jacques. It is quiet, it's windy too. This guy's trying to get in the cafe. This is my favourite cafe, St. Regis. And a reminder, I'm on Buy Me a Coffee if anyone wants to buy me a hot chocolate. Where are the people? They're at work or they're working from home. But there are heaps of people. I'm just very clever at avoiding filming them. But look, there's heaps and heaps of people still. The traffic is all along you never see traffic here unless you live here. Why is it my favourite? This is such an awesome people watching spot. People walk over from here to there and you see fascinating people. They're really nice. They got the best hot chocolate ever. And it's just such a dreamy location. It's beautiful inside. I've been coming here for years. They do the best snails. Ah! Pardon? Ah oui? Ok, merci. Ça va? Oui. Oui, je suis sur Périscope. Au revoir. That's my neighbour. She's going for a walk. I'm putting it on my list. Okay. She said I've got a package in the mailbox. It's not really a mailbox. It's not very secure, so it's good that she told me. I was wondering why someone was calling my name. It is nighttime in California. Yeah. Oh, look. Each person's got their own hand gel on every table. BuyMeAHotChocolate.com. Is that actually a thing? But I am on Buy Me a Coffee. So we'll have a quick little look. Have I seen Inception? Yes, I have. What have we got here? Tequila. Maker's Mark. seen in Paris. I'm trying to remember it. Pink Flamingo. Truth in Advertising, yes. I'm just thinking about all these restaurants and how they must be doing. Yeah, did you see someone without a mask? Maybe absinthe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they weren't wearing masks because they were on a scooter or a bike. Is that right? Is that what you saw? Yeah, they've got an exception if they're on a bike or if they're jogging. But everyone else must be wearing. Oui, c'est Paris. Everyone else must be wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. Ooh, freezing. Really cold wind. Look at these beautiful old doors. So, Ile Saint-Louis is all quite standard in age. It's all early 1600s. It was built, it was early example of town planning where they wanted this to be like a place where all the nobles lived and where the king's people lived and the lawyers and the workers for the king, and a fancy schmancy place. And it still is a fancy schmancy place, and people inherit. Oh, these are cool. They've got you can hear the pounding of the pavement or the road. That's the sapeur-pompier, it's the firemen doing their job. There's a nice little view here of Saint-Etienne Church on the left bank. It's really nice. So there's lots of very old doors all along here. This was all under Louis XIII, the son of Henri IV. You think French is similar to Portuguese? That's interesting. Didn't know that. This is a very old sign. What does it say? Yeah. No, that was his son. Here in something, the Lord, or of the what? I can't really see. I should find out. The old page. Très similaire. Okay. Some old knockers. I was hoping we might find some open doors and go exploring, but everything looks pretty shut. So this is Ile Saint-Louis without the tourists. But you've got some very old, beautiful doors here. Look at this one. Nice, huh? And you can see all the different kinds of locks that have existed over the years. Look, this one, this one, this one. English is your preferred language. Well, you can carry on. That's fine. Isn't that old? It's crazy. And then at one stage you had a bell, and now you just have a door code. All the different technologies. So different without tourists, indeed. And then this one, you can only see you can see the main lock. And then another one, and this one's come off. Actually, they must open their door with a key. Mes français est incroyable. It was like, yeah, and this is a really nice bakery here, really good. He makes really good croissants, little corner store. This is a beautiful cheese store here, but he's closed for the moment. Dogs are not allowed here. If you wish to travel with cheeses, baby cheeses, we can put them in the vacuum pack. Look at this beautiful, very long and very old quay, yes. Look at this very old building here, it's gorgeous. Rue Le Gratier. And this is a nice restaurant. Have these stores got online presence? I think so, some of them. This is a lovely restaurant. They do takeaway as well. They might be doing well with the locals of the takeaway. They've got bœuf bourguignon, maigret de canard, confit de canard, all that kind of stuff, classics. Look, they've closed because of the pandemic, and they're doing a restoration, I think. Or the Cafe Saint Regis used to be on Uber Eats. Don't know if they still are, or on Deliveroo. I see what you mean now. Not many, but there are some. You can get some traditional French restaurants that do that, and some of them have made the switch, and it's working well for them. But others are just closed. Look at this old cookie store, and another old door. Should we peek over here if I can reach? There was kind of Halloween before. It was a new thing. It was obviously American imported because it's not a tradition here. And it was a relatively new, only in the last 15 years. Yeah, so you can get delivered, but not most of these restaurants, I think. It depends if they've done the switch or not. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. Halloween. So anyway, I'm not saying any Halloween at all. And a lot of events have been cancelled, but Leo's got something on Wednesday just for 2 hours by appointment. So we had to get a slot so that there wouldn't be too many people. These are avec mamie, tout est permis. Mamie is like grandma, granny. With granny, everything is permitted, but it rhymes. No trick or treat, no. J'aime ma mamie. Je fais rien que des bêtises. Stuff that rhymes. Petit Prince stuff. And this beautiful florist. It must be just sad, all the business they're losing. Souls is a good restaurant. You've got the very old Fleury sign. Oh, and the door's open here, so there's an outdoor butcher's there too, which is cool. Buy candles and decorate the house, yes. And make a pumpkin thingy. I'm just going to sneak in here and just show you. I'm going to get told off probably, but I'm going to try. I'll just pretend I live here. But can't really pretend I live here with my camera, can I? But look down here. It's just a beautiful courtyard of one of these grand mansions from back in the day. This is quite similar to what you see in the Marais. Pumpkin carving. There's an old Irish pagan festival. It is indeed. All Hallows Eve. Called Samhain. Is that how you pronounce that? I didn't know that Samhain thing. I don't think it rings a bell. I have to look it up. Look at that swaying in the wind. It's gorgeous, huh? And it goes on through here. You can see a little window into the cellar there, a little old fountain. This is a long scope. I'm sorry for the replay viewers. Look, they've even got this old panel here that's been there. And here, another part of the courtyard. Peter Mitchell and John Myers, The End of Industry. As Batman, yeah, he is. Oh, there we go. Look, there's a sundial here. He wants to be Black Panther, so that's what he's going to be this year. Isn't that cool? There's a sundial there. Yeah, they can scroll forward, but they'll be thinking to themselves, "Oh, I might miss something." Where are the Rugrats? I don't know. Gosh, it does look a little bit abandoned, does it? It needs work. Black Panther is cool. Leo loves Black Panther. He likes all superheroes, actually. He's got a bunch of costumes. Oh, Amélie Poulain. They're moving something out, so I don't want to film anyone. Have I got a costume? No, I'm not. I'm just not going to bother this year. You can see the staircase. Yeah, I know, it's a bit depressing, but... And look at this beautiful grand door entrance. And a knocker. And a huge keyhole. Alright, so it is so much history. Just some nice candles, yeah. We did a pumpkin thing last time, but we haven't this year. I've been a bit blah with the whole, but I shouldn't, should I? I've got a kid, I should make things exciting. Well, I did. We went to this fun park on Friday. Yeah, it's been raining quite a bit on and off. And this is a sweet store. They got really nice. Have to be off. Okay, I've got to be off soon. Just giving you a heads up. I'll be hanging up in about 5 minutes. Marron glacé season, glazed chestnuts. Thank you, TC. Thank you for all your support and hanging out. And these pâté de fruits, which taste exactly like the fruit. So blackcurrant, apricot, raspberry, etc. Blackcurrant and blackberry. With cassis as well. Make a barmbrack cake. I don't know how to make that. There's a tree growing in the kitchen. On the bar. And a night. Michelin starred restaurant. Gosh, 97 euros per person. That would feed us for a good week and a half. If not more. Especially when I'm at the end of the month. It would be 3 weeks. This is the inside of the other hotel. It's just really pretty. Look. Gorgeous little courtyard. Ain't cheap. So it looks like that inside. Really old beams. This is a popular restaurant, Le Gaulois. Oh, that's what our friend was talking about earlier, I think. Oh, we've got some Halloween decorations, kind of. And there's an old puppet store here. Look how old that building is, the old stone there. Claire de Rêve. Let's have a look. It's full on. Fruitcake with a coin and stick. Fish and chips, yes please. With a coin and a stick, a rag and a pea inside, and each item has a different meaning. Well, I did not know that. Look at this beautiful old door. Hi. Constant boycott of French products. What, to the US? Like foie gras and stuff like that? Well, I want to show you the view here, but and this is the oldest, not the oldest, this is a really, really fancy schmancy restaurant called La Tour d'Argent. Only at Halloween. It doesn't ring a bell to me. I'm going to have to look all this up. That sounds really cool. And then the headquarters of Bertillon Ice Cream. Oh, thanks for the fish and chips there. And there's a beautiful old church here, but I need to go and get some stuff done. I'll show you the view from up here. And then I'll go for a speed walk and then get home and do all my washing, baking, meal planning, budgeting, admin, all that. This is a great place for onion soup. Hair washing. That's cute. It is lovely. I'll leave you with a view up here. It's nice weather. There's no proper Kiwi fish and chip emoji. There should be. You're very welcome. Let's have a look at the little things in here. There's a little Parisien in their buildings. Little teapots. And some old cigarette boxes, are they? No, what are they? I don't know. I should know. And wow, if you've got some money, you can get this for $1 million, this for 1.6 million. What kind of views do you get? Let's have a look. Oh, $500,000 gets you 24 meters squared. The old tomates, these are called tomates. the little bricks. And 1.3 million. These guys do deliver. That's good. Real estate shopping. Yeah, they often have little castles, like mini castles, for the same price as a tiny studio in Paris. And this is a knife shop that usually rely on tourists bringing back a bunch. Oh look, there's a silver tree in the window. Silver tree and a horse. Okay, I'll show you the view up here and then I'll go. Surprisingly, there's a castle right behind this building there, Hotel de Sens, which I showed you a few days ago. Let's go and enjoy the autumn colours here in landscape, and I'll sign off. So the new restrictions are that we have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and they're under discussions at the moment, and they might make things even more strict, but they're not apparently. But who knows what's going to happen? Going to lock us down again. Everything should have locked down basically, and it's always going to be the same businesses struggling, unfortunately. But thankfully, they're also discussing how they're going to help, and they're obviously widening that. All right, gotta go. Thanks everyone. And some people need to go right to sleep, and others to have a good day. Bye. I can never. How do you hang up in landscape?